Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. So we have seen in our previous session that how we can create the classes and use the classes while editing any PO purchase order, and the how to declare the variables and how to use the collection objects in it and keep adding the items one by one to the collection, and later on from the collection object to the list box to display the desired purchase order as. Let's go and uh, do it again so that you know where we are coming from. Okay, so what I yeah. So I'm talking about 10014 number. Okay. So when we saw this, means it was using the two classes. One is the header class. The header is the one row element, means containing all these information, one line of it. And this is the multi-line, this is the line item um, class is being used to populate this information back into it. So and the rest of the objects are quite intact as we have done in the, so no effect in that. So this is a sort of uh, just a reminder that it's a object-oriented programming's beauty. It's a value. It's an advantage that you can uh, mm, do the work for focusing a particular object, and all the rest of the things remain intact. Right? So the another thing is that the reusability was discussed, in which we can reuse mm, the objects again and again, and the classes can be the used as a template to create a new objects. So all the variables become available, and you can do it, implement it. And this. So for just take, for example, you want to uh, shift all this information, means the code from the editing to the new record editing. For example, we have to add a new purchase order. At the moment, we were focusing only the editing, means for this, it is necessary that the purchase order has to be there, right? If you click 13 here, so the 13 purchase order has to be there so that it can display it. Right? But what about if we enter the new purchase order, right? So that is our next available purchase order is 700. It's 701 because we made a try. And let's go into the purchase order. It must have added and line. Okay, so we remove it so that it does not get confused with that. Okay, so so when we load the purchase order form, it comes up with the new purchase order number, which is available. So previously it was 701, now it is correctly doing 700. Okay. Now we have put a breakpoint for this, and as soon as we are going to update uh, the newly created, okay, so we will stop there, and then we will reuse the classes which we have created for the editing of a purchase order. Okay, so let's do this. So we are creating a new purchase order. per, okay, the person who is creating, and then you use, for example, and yes, and you also enter, for example, um, FF. Just, Jamie, this is so that it does not start crying that where is the email address? Okay, so .com, you can give anything, but okay, so this is the email address, and you can use this. First, let's add one item to it. Sure. So it is showing you that the quantity available is none. Now all has been consumed. Okay, let's we are ordering. So ordering does not need any available quantity. You can order, say, example, 300 pieces of this item. So as soon as you enter it, it gets updated, right? And it is now ready to get the second item. Okay, let's say the second item is this. And here we say, for example, 100 items of this. Okay, so 1,000, that's fine. Okay, let's add a few more. The third one, for example, this one. Okay, you have, say, 400 pieces of this. Okay, and whatever, take anything else like this. Okay, and you add, say, 350 pieces of this, for example. Okay, so this is how it is completed, and it must have updated 10,000, 25,000, something 25,700. That's fine. Okay. So this is completed. Now you have ready, you have made it ready, and let's add some shipping fees. For example, $500 for shipment, and now you update it. So it will go and update it and validate it. Okay, it is now going to validate it. Okay, let's see if it comes with some message. Yeah, that it's true. It means it is validated. It's all the mandatory informations are entered. Now it will display ready to this and that. Okay, let's allow it so that it display whatever it wants to say. Okay, read to write, ready to write. Okay, now it is checking if the PO already exists or not. Of course, it is not going to exist, so it is not existing, so it is now getting the line number which it is supposed to enter in the PPO header, which line it is supposed to put the pointer so that there. So it will tell you the 702. That's fine. Okay. So this is the last line. Okay. It should be okay, 701. Anyway, no problem. So you have used this. Now, the next is it is now checking. Yeah, what should be its, and then before writing anything, we are setting this. We are setting up a class for this purchase order header, right? Now, this is the point where we want you to say, be attentive, because a new purchase order class it has been created instance of the PO header, right? And now we want to do the same thing which we were doing in the editing. right? Excuse me. We have already done this, so let's bring that code uh, into here, right? So while in the editing, right? So this is the procedure where we are adding a record. Previously, you remember 14 number, the 14 number we entered, so we were editing, right? So let's go and see where is the our code which we can copy and we can make use of it instead of typing it again. Okay, so let's find next. So this is the place where we dimmed it, and this is where we used it. And here we will use all these things. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So what we do is we make a copy of it. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So it is actually moving the values from the form into the class object and then dating it. Okay. So we do this. We copy all these things. That's right. Okay. So this is the and because after this place, this is the uh, purchase order line items. So we are focusing first of all the purchase order headers, right? You press Control C here, and now we are going to go to a blank sheet in Excel so that we can write, we can use this Excel expertise to write the commands we want to do. Okay, so this is it has copied it, okay? And not only it has copied it, but also it has removed the equal to sign, right? So this most of the things it has done, because in our text to column object we have, when we go to the data and we say, so we have already delimited it with the equal to sign. So that's why it has already done it. We did it in the previous sheet, okay? So when we did it, so we have now this place, and this is the formula which is doing what we want to do, rewrite the things. Is we want, previously we were moving the values of the class form into the form, right? So that the form is updated, right? So this time we are taking the values from the form, taking the values from the forms and moving it back to where? To the uh, to the class. Yeah, we will move these all things. We press Control C and we get back to our code. Here in the code, we have this place where we are going to press F8 so that it takes us where we want to put it. So this is the place. It has, by the way, written already 700 into the place that is 701. That's fine. Okay. So we move this thing. We paste this information here. So these are not the information, these are actually the commands. So we use the Excel to support us our typing of the commands, right? We, we yeah, and we all we need to do is just to control tab, shift tab, and press and tabulate, press tab, grass, so that these are lined up. So it is now ready to execute these commands which we have done to get the values inside the class object of PO header from the fields. Okay, from the fields. If you see, we have the ship fee 500. This is going to be moved in here. Okay, and what else we want? There are certain other things in the purchase order header object. For example, let's keep an eye on the form, and we see what do we want to add, right? We want to add some some objects like this is the supplier. Or the supplier is actually vendor. Vendor equal to supplier. Yeah, dot text, I think. If you see the supplier is F. This is going to be moved into here. Fit. Most of the fields, this is how we have saved our typing, right? Using the Excel formulas, we have written all these things. Because in the editing, it was taking the data from the class, but now while entering a new purchase order, we are putting the information from the class to the Excel sheet. So before this, we have to set the class values first. Excuse me. Okay. So this is how we are reusing the classes, and later on we will put them into this in the sheet. Okay. So this is how it is. It has taken the classes plus values. If you use the debugger or add watch window, so it is going to show you all the elements which it has. If you see, you will see the vendor. It is vendor. Yeah, where vendor has already been updated. Now it is updating the address, right? That's F8. If you see the BP address, yeah, BP address has, since it is blank, that's why it is not appearing. Otherwise, it has moved. Okay, let's press F8, right? So, and this is where, since we are adding a new number, so we don't need this class. So we will say on error, resume next. That means don't mind about that, because GRN stage is later. on go to 0. Excuse me. Similarly, let's do it. Okay. The next is the shipment fees. So if you see the shipment fees in the clause, you will find it is moved. Yeah, shipment fee has been moved. So this how we are setting up the header later on. And the next lesson, we will set up the line items and then the data will be updated into the sheet. Thank you very much and see you in our next video.